It's time for the Jim and Terry Show. It's the Jim and Terry Show coming to you from the Hobbit Hole Studio and Bob Cajun and
Pefferlaw, downtown Pefferlaw on the cozy couch with my maple leaf blankie.
Unbelievable, you're back in the saddle.
I'm back all tanned, all ready to go, raring to go. I've been watching you, listening to your shows all the time I was away. And,
Then you heard my nonstop complaining about carrying on a monologue.
well, you're great. You're great at it. Some of your subject matter made me want to pull my hair out, but I don't have any hair to pull out. So.
Well, you're free to criticize. Leave a comment. Link in the description.
No, you
Well,
did a
welcome
great.
back.
You did a great job, Terry. It was seamless entertainment.
Yes, those 10-minute breaks. I think we did well to call them the J&T Daily Dose of Vitamins.
Yeah, I don't know if we're killing people or helping people, but
Well,
what can I tell you?
well, if you listen to today's one about vitamin D, I'd suggest that it might be well-intended, not so goodness.
I didn't get to hear the whole show because there's this guy named Terry Wigmore that asked me if
He
I'm
was
ready to
pinging you.
talk. And then I had problems getting my coffee going. So anyways, I can finish up the end of it almost to the end of the show with this vitamin D. There's all these remedies. I mean, the truth of the matter is the human body just needs everything in moderation, everything in moderation, and you're probably going to be okay.
You're right. If you just eat well.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I came back with a back from Mexico resolution. Anyways, I've been cutting down on my proportion size a bit.
Ooh,
Yeah,
good for you.
Time to get my gorgeous body back. It's time to challenge all these.
That may take a while, my friend.
Yeah, all these hard bodies and just let them see what a real man looks like.
Okay, good luck with that. Was that a New Year's resolution or a Mexico holiday resolution?
A Mexico holiday resolution.
Oh, were you body shamed at all?
Well, I mean, I really wasn't in a position to be body shamed, but
we are retired, and things don't quite fit the way they used to, and they don't all hang together the way they used to. In fact, they sag a little bit.
Well, yeah, and where I was located, the majority of the people that were wandering around where my little cubby hole was, and it was hard to explain because it was like I said industrial area, and then one person got very offended at that because rightfully so, people live there and stuff, but it's not like a resort. You know what I mean? You had to walk 20 minutes to the ocean. But there was a lot of young people, and someone was looking one time for a campus. And I'm thinking, maybe that's why there's so many young people around. Maybe there's a campus around.
Yeah.
And so that wise, I mean, you're really stupid if you think you're going to compete with, the 21-year-old, university student. That ain't going to happen. So I wasn't really shamed that way, but more just, you take a look at yourself and you go, how did you get here? How did you get like this? You know what I mean? Like
a little self-reflection. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is you now you're looking at everything you didn't like, and now you're the epitome of it, the big gut and all the rest of it. Right. And so I said, no, I got to start something in it. I didn't try to go any dramatic. I just said, I got to cut back on proportions here. Cut back in proportions. Maybe it'll naturally just kind of come off a bit by bit, year by year. And by the time I'm 80, look out. Hide your women.
I like your aspiration. Long-term goals.
Well, you're fooling yourself. It takes a long time for it all to come on. It takes a long time for it all to come off.
Yes.
But and I'm not going to be fanatical about it. I mean, if something comes up, someone says you want to go to the Mandarin, I'll do it. But my regular eating habits, I'm cutting everything in half. at least
Okay.
in half. Yeah.
Well, I wish you well in that
Thank you.
aspiration because we grow accustomed to the portions that we use,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's difficult to change it.
It is. But it's like, I remember years ago I went to Europe and a friend of mine said, "Listen, take my advice. Whatever you think you need, take half of that out because you're not going to need it." And after we didn't listen to that person's advice and dragged around all over Europe more than we ever needed, I only travel with a carry-on. That's it, just a carry-on. You don't need any more than that. So the same idea with food. Whatever you think you need, cut it in half, and that's all you really need. You're not going to die. You got you're eating what you're eating, and you'll be fine.
So your general learning seems to be that you can get by with far less than we think.
Yeah, and a lot of things are mind over matter. I mean, let's face it. If you're facing a pizza in front of you, instead of 3 pieces, just have 2, because you could get by with 1. So it's not go nuts. It's just have 2, and that's all you need.
Was that a medium or a large?
Oh yeah, medium. No, large probably. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it starts with those.
Actually, I haven't had pizza when I was there or since I've been back, so I haven't had pizza.
And I guess that's not a Mexican thing.
Yeah, well, you can get everything down there. My favorite thing down there is I went for a Mexican breakfast, and I asked my neighbor's daughter-in-law who owns the resort, where can I get an authentic breakfast? And so she took me. We had an authentic breakfast, and it was wonderful. Hot sauce like coming out your yin yang. It was wonderful. Loved it. But
hot sauce meaning hot sauce on eggs and bacon, or hot sauce on what? What was a traditional breakfast?
Hot sauce on these. They're like tortillas or chips, but they got something on those chips, a hot sauce mixed with cream, then another hot sauce. Then they had a bowl of beans. So you can put the beans on if you want, and I did. And we ordered a side thing of hot sauce, and I put that on it. So, it was, I had my fill of hot sauce.
And you're sure you had no bouts of Montezuma's Revenge, which is diarrhea?
No,
none.
I did not. No.
Wow, you got a gut of steel.
We all went to an Argentinian restaurant, and I asked for hot sauce. And the guy who brought the hot sauce, and he said, "Now be careful, it's hot." So I did. I put it down. I dipped my little finger in, and I went, "Yeah, that's hot." By the time the meal was served and ready to go, I was dipping my fries in it, and I painted my burger in it. I just smothered it, and I thought, "Oh, hopefully I can walk home," because then we were walking for about an hour after that, and I'm thinking that's when you worry, right? Is it all going to hit you at the wrong time? But it didn't. I survived, and everything.
You are a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, well, I wanted some interesting food. I didn't have as much as I wanted, but I did have some interesting food, because a lot of the food you cook it yourself just at home, right?
So
by the way, I got to point out though, I discovered I love cactus. I went and bought some cactus because I was in a restaurant. They had cactus, and I ate the cactus. It was delicious. So I went and bought cactus. You could get it just at Walmart.
Yeah, it's a very fleshy vegetable.
Yeah, you fry it up, and everything seems fine. It's a very fleshy vegetable, but I like it.
So it's like eggplant, I guess?
Yeah, I guess. And very, very kind of firm, and I like that, but extremely good for you. Of course, unless the person telling me that wanted me dead. Anyways, I ate cactus. It was good.
I think learning to adjust your diet to the location you are staying is pretty significant.
Yeah, well, I've always been open to kind of new foods. As long as it's dead, I'll eat it,
You draw the line at dead, right?
Yeah, and I'm not really into bugs either, other than shrimp. I'll eat shrimp. Like,
well, that's not really a bug.
I know, but it reminds me of ocean bugs,
And you draw the line at it can't be dead too long, like roadkill is out of the question, right?
Out of the
so
question,
no dead skunks in the middle of the road
That's right.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Do you have a highlight reel? If you could sum up your trip to Mexico in a couple of highlights, what would you say?
I guess every now and then, just sitting out at the front, maybe with Al, just watching the activity. Funny enough, before the guy got shot in the strip joint, watching people coming and going was kind of interesting in that corner, just in that corner. Now, every now and then, I did see, someone bringing an absolute beautiful woman there, and I'm thinking, why would you do that? And then stupid me thought, well, it's probably a pimp and his girl. So, but then that ended, and that was, other than the guy getting shot to end it, that went away, and there wasn't that action going on.
Okay, so let me get it straight. Your highlight reel consists of violence and hookers. And that's what you take away from your holiday in Mexico.
Not really, but just sitting out in the warm area. Again, it was, once I put shorts on, I never needed to put pants on again.
And just
30
to give
degrees every day.
Just to give a plug for your good friend, neighbor Al, you enjoyed the walks. So there you go, Al. If you ever listen to the Jim and Terry show, Al, Jim enjoyed your morning walks.
I did. I enjoyed our walks. Yes, there was always one, either in the morning or very early afternoon. We would walk for a couple of kilometers or more. And then,
well, when the Jim and Terry show resumes in person, we're going to do some walking, my friend.
That sounds fair. Yeah, it's always good.
All right, Jim and Terry show signing off. This is our first of how many? Well, we're trying to do our daily dose of vitamins J and T. We'll see what we got in the empty mug this morning.
All right.
All right, bye-bye for now.